Hello YouTube, welcome back to Mine Mogul. And if you're coming off last episode, you might notice there's a bit of a change. Quite a bit of a change actually. And that change is, well, this entire bit right here. Well, to answer why there's such a huge change, it's this. It was thanks to the blasting furnace, whatever. This thing, the ingot maker. It is all thanks to this that there is such a change here. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, Alan, what the hell happened to cause such a thing? Well, easy. While I was saying that this shouldn't back up, and they're not, they're doing just fine. What I didn't think about was the furnace. I remember, of course, how many mines our iron smelting issue had. So, obviously, I remembered that we had enough throughput for our sorters. What I didn't remember was that once we got to that point where, you know, there were 5-6 mines feeding into for our iron, that we needed a second blast furnace to deal with the overflow. One was not enough. You see that these guys are constantly on now. One is almost always shooting out an ingot. And usually both of them are going at the same damn time. Very rarely are they both cool. So obviously I had to add an additional one. And while I was doing that, I of course had to change things around so I could actually fit that in. Which meant moving these belt lines back a ways so I could have the sorter here. Eventually I'm going to upgrade that to smart sorter, but obviously I had to move the what would be the shaker line back slightly. And then obviously since I had to move that back, I had to figure out how to get that second blast furnace in and how to actually attach it onto the line. I figured out how to do that, but it was so jam-packed in there that I was having issues with getting the shaker part going. So I figured, screw it, we're going to redesign it a little bit better, and this time we're going to have it so that all the gosh darn extra stuff gets shaken off over to this side, and the ingots are going to go over here. I do not give a crap about what the heck goes in over there. Of course, to actually have the research points to get that splitter over there, I had to complete a quest, which, if you might notice in the upper left-hand corner, was the one for copper ingots. You'll notice, where's the copper? Where's the copper ingots? Yeah, I had to really quickly go and make a little makeshift setup that I tore down immediately. It was literally hand-fed. I was quite literally running around chopping up nodes, dragging all that copper over to a little hand-fed setup that just tossed the unpolished stuff right into the box so I could finish that quest to get the research to get that dang thing. Whew. So, needless to say, quite a bit happened. Quite a bit happened. Now, what are we going to do for this episode? Besides me recapping everything that very entertaining, I'm sure, thing that I probably should have gone and recorded, but I obviously freaked out a little bit and, well, needed to go and fix that, and once I need to do something, I just don't think, I just act. Unfortunate. Unfortunate indeed. What the heck just... I don't know what quest just popped. Well, I guess I could always just go over to my quest and see... It was probably polished gems. Yes, it was probably polished gems. Most likely. Okay, well... Should probably take the shaker with me. Alrighty, well, let us just go and There. And none dropped. Sweet. Alrighty. So here we are. Now we got our shaker all set up. So, yeah, we're no longer making an insane amount of these junk. And you'll notice that here, the junk one, there's plenty of space for eventually one of these polishing machines, which I'm probably going to do, honestly speaking. Yeah, technically speaking, the polishing machine doesn't really do a lot, but it does do enough. So, I'm gonna go for it. And yeah, this thing's just really going crazy. Now, what are we, like I said, what are we gonna do today? Today we are going to set up the copper. And when I say set up the copper, I mean we are going to finish setting up the copper. Now, what do you mean, Alan, by finish? Well, remember how I said I freaked the hell out? Yeah. This is where I got most of the copper from. I didn't actually turn these on. Well, I did for like half a second. But there were enough nodes in this little crack here that I took them. And obviously I left the coal here behind because, well, I didn't need coal. I needed copper. Where's the copper? Yeah, yeah, that's what happens when Alan freaks out. When Alan freaks out, he goes into fixing the problem mode, which tends to involve a lot of stuff happening, yet not a lot of thinking. Or, I guess I should say, thinking about other things than the problem. There was no thought as to whether or not it would be a good idea to record said shuffling around and said running around like a chicken with its head cut off. No, it was purely Alan trying to fix a problem that he really should have thought about way sooner. But, oh well. It is what it is. Alan figured out the problem. Alan solved the solution. And... oh. Oh, hey. I have enough money to buy this. I have enough money to buy these areas. Oh well. Maybe I'll do that later. Alright. But for now, what we are going to do is we are going to drag off our spoils here. And we are going to set up that copper like I said. Now, as you can see from this thing, I did do a little bit of planning on how we're going to do this. A bit of planning. Planning that we are now going to rip up because, well, that was some pretty crap planning. That was not very good planning. That was panicked, hasty planning. Planning that really isn't really planning, just freaking the heck out. So yeah, we are now going to set up the copper like I said, and we are actually going to do it the right way. The right way being, we're going to do it all right here. This right here is going to be where the copper is going to be done. Then it is going to run across here, through here, and onto this line. Yep, that's right, you heard me right. It is going to fall onto the shaker line. Mostly because I don't really have to worry about anything else. I mean, hell, you're seeing how much the shaker line is going to have on it. This is just that. I'm not going to have to worry about the copper trying to fight for space here. I'm sure the copper is going to be just easily able to find the space. And as for, do we have the actual, how do I put this? Do we have the amount of blast furnace needed for this? And the quick and easy answer is, surprisingly, yes. We honestly have way more than enough space there, actually. And I am going to add a few more of these because I can very clearly see that I'm running low. Anyways, surprisingly enough, yeah, there's more than enough space over here for that. We only need one blast furnace after all, which you would think is kind of an odd duck, but yeah, that's all we really need is just one blast furnace. We don't need anything more than just one single blast furnace for the um, amount of copper, well, the amount of copper ore that's coming through. There's only two mines over here. Well, right now anyways. Obviously there's the heavy one, but on that one, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Of course, there is this problem of the coal, which I didn't even think about till, well, just now, actually. So we're going to need to fix that, otherwise we're going to be getting nothing more than junks. But that is not actually going to be much of a problem. That's not going to be nearly as much of a problem as one might think. Since, actually, now that I think about it, we can just run the coal over to this line. I'm going to need an actual sorter to do that. So, hang on real quick while I run over here and grab a sorter. Yep, that's Alan in solving a problem mode. He does not think. He just acts. Okay, here we are. And this should be all I'm going to need. Should, being a keyword here. And while we're on the subject of sorters, can I just say thank you, developers, for not making it like the ore crushers and blast furnace, where you actually need to have these dang things, you know, on the ground. Thank you for allowing us to actually have them just floating in the air, like the conveyor belts. Thank you. That really would have been really annoying if I had to figure out how to get the damn thing to, well, you know, be fit on the ground as well. So thank you, honestly, truly. That would have been really annoying otherwise. But that's gonna honestly do it. I just need a whole crud ton of these dang straight pipes, and I'm also going to need to snag one of you. And now, I know I said this last time I went over there, but now we should be good. There, coal right over there. And now, all I might need to do is just avoid this wall, but it doesn't look like it. Nope, we're good. Okay. And now, I'm going to... No. Alright, fine. Want to be like that? Be like that then. Alright, come on. Come on. And there. And there. Alright. Now, we just need to wait for a opportune moment. And that's how we do it. Oh. There was an even bigger spot. Didn't need to go and try to do... I didn't have to frickin' go and pull Ultra Instinct and fucking goddamn get that thing in there immediately. Oh well. Oh well, oh well, oh well, oh well, oh well. That's copper. That is copper setup. And that is... yeah, that should do it. That should be... well, as soon as we see the copper coming through... copper gets crushed. Goes up here. Gets loaded into the blast furnace. Drives all the way over here, and it'll get dropped onto the shaker. Okay. Perfect. And, of course, then we have the coal line, which is just going to go over here and add itself to this line. And one measly extra bit of coal is not going to kill this line. It's not going to cause too much of a backup. Not enough for it to actually be, well, in danger. Of course, if I was slightly smarter, instead of doing that and adding it to that line, I would have just added it straight to the shaker, because why not? But I am not a very smart man, so that did not happen. And while we're talking about not being a very smart man, I am going to, of course, immediately try to set up a polishing machine while the line is still active. Wait. Oh, that's unfortunate. They don't clean the... Well, that's just great. The polishing machines don't polish the junk ingots anymore. That sucks. That really does honestly suck. Huh. Hang on, I got an idea. Hurry up. I need you to hurry up over here. I gotta look at something. I gotta try something out because I'm curious. Hurry up and create yourself. There's something I want to test out. Shaker! I need your assistance. Shake that for me, would you? No. Huh. Okay. Well, I guess there's no way to polish the junk ingots anymore. Which really does suck. Like, honestly, it really does suck. I mean, I spent like a good quarter of an episode last playthrough figuring out that these could be polished and that value becomes doubled, and now that knowledge is completely worthless. Cool. Thanks, developers. Oh well. Anyways, so now we got some copper coming in pretty regularly, actually. Of course, if it's coming in that regularly, it might be a good idea just to come over here and... Okay. Okay, good. It's not as... nothing bad is going down. So, why the heck am I putting these on the ground? We were just talking about how we're tossing these on the shaker line because there is no danger to, you know, finding space on it, and it's going to hit a polishing machine, but... Oh. Oh. Okay, hang on. I gotta wait around this. If there's not a rock face to cling to, just make your own. Where's the lid by? There. And now we got a whole crap ton of copper on the line. And I will stand here and make dang sure that it isn't about to back up. Thought about it for half a second. And now to do the same for the blast furnace. Just because this is kind of a good thing to do is just to make sure that... Okay, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, that it's gonna be pumping out copper for copper pretty quick for a while, but nowhere near as anywhere close to scary or dangerous as one might think. Alright, so now we have options. Ah, yes. I'm going to turn everything off. Because here's the thing. I want to do what I usually do on the copper map, where I'm going to make a plate machine. And that plate machine is going to basically... the plate machine isn't going to do shit. I'm going to put a sorter down. There we go. That'll sort off all the ingots. Yeah, it'll sort off all the ingots. And those ingots will go into various machines like I said, the plate machine and the rod extender, whatever, and just honestly, you know, go them and go just themselves, like I do the classic map. In order to do this, I'm probably going to want to move that polishing machine up further. I'm not going to want it way the heck down there. I'm probably going to want it... Actually, I know I'm going to want it even closer than that. So, since that's the case, we're going to need... Actually, we're not going to need any of this stuff. I thought we were going to need something here, but, well, I can grab a few more conveyor belts, but honestly, what I need is just to go and actually wait for everything to shut off. That's what I need. I need for these to stop making ingots and junk. Which it appears that they have. Good. Okay, so get rid of you, get rid of you. Toss you there. Because that is the closest point I can get to all of this. And to be able to go and... Well, not the closest. I could do slightly closer. I could do slightly closer just by doing something like this. And there. Okay, so now we will take you and we will do that. And obviously we won't need you anymore, so we can just go and do that. Obviously keep in mind that, yeah, this isn't really entirely this isn't entirely necessary. What I'm doing isn't entirely necessary. And what I mean by that is, this line, when it comes out of here, the only thing that's going to be on there is the rubies. It's not going to be the emeralds or the diamonds, because those are all over here. It's this line right here is only for rubies from this moment on, which is kind of hilarious and stupid at the same dang time. What the heck? Where's there? Oh, okay, there it is, way down there. Okay, which is actually really, really hilarious, to be honest. But honestly, it gives me a lot of options. It makes it so that if I wanted to, later on, I can basically add a bit more than just that onto it. And yeah. You know what? Yes, I will do that. Okay, so we are going to do... actually. Yes, actually we will. Screw it. Okay. So we're going to do that. Now, I know what you're saying. Or, I hear what you're saying. Alan, what the heck are you doing? Why are you doing it like that? Well, keep in mind that I'm going to need at least 3 different... I'm going to need about 3-ish different lines. So I'm going to need 2 of these smart splitters. Alrighty. Now's a really good time. Now would be a really good time to have a dang merger. Unfortunately, yeah, no mergers for me. But that's fine. Because here's the thing about that. I can just kind of mess with this a little bit. And Do that. Get rid of that again. Do that. And boom. There we go. And then I can just take it over here and continue on with what I was doing. Kind of a weird, messed up way of doing it, but it works. If it works, it works. Oops, wait, no. Don't do that, Alan. That will end badly. Alrighty. And now, that should honestly do us. Now let's do the whole turning everything back on again. By hand. Yeah, next episode, I think we're going to do something along the lines of getting the rest of this crap set up, so I don't have to have to constantly run around here and turn these on manually. You know what? At this point, it's just it'll be faster just to turn off the ones that I'm not using by hand. Yeah. Okay. I'll just turn the ones that I'm not using off by hand and then grab their products and toss them in the dumpster. And by dumpster, I mean main bus. Now, let's see if I can actually... Nope. I don't know what the heck's wrong with this one, but I have really serious troubles actually going and jumping up on it. I do not know why. Every other I can jump like I'm a goddamn freaking gazelle, but apparently that one's the difficult one. That's the one that I have troubles with, apparently. Oh well. Oh well. Come on. Turn you off. Turn you off. And there we go. Okay. And now we got all this. And here's the problem. You know what? Congratulations. You guys just go in. Congratulations. It's been a while since I've actually sold pure ores, but you guys will be the lucky ones to get sold as pure ores. Alright, there. Okay, so now what we do is we grab these and we toss them in here. And now we shall see that it is making us plates and just pure ingots, which is kind of how I want things to go. Now, while it is doing that, I am going to set up how it's going to look for the rod extruder, or whatever the hell it's going to call it. The rod extruder is about, like, what, 4, I believe, of these? So it's going to come and be over here, more or less. It's going to be like this. Now, I can actually set it up like so, where we're actually going to feed directly into here. And we won't need a merger because this, the plate maker, you'll see that they're actually making plates higher than the conveyor belts here. Here, I'll show you. Once it gives me a bit of a chance. Yeah, see? There's a little lip right there that normally you'd have to deal with. However, because of this machine, specifically this machine, and I don't know if there are any other types of machines, but that machine specifically allows you to get away with it. And we have research points that I am immediately going to dump into the merger conveyor belt. And my very next my, my very next one is going into the walled one. But at the very least, I have the non-walled one now. And that would have been handy a long flipping time ago. But that's going to do it for this specific episode. I think I've ran actually quite a bit over my time, I'm pretty sure. Or at the very least, it's around our normal time. I'm will in bed probably more so then. More so anyways. And, ooh, hang on. Okay, it's still there. Good. I gotta remember to check that every episode. Every episode. Alright, thank you all for watching. Hope you all have a good day. Sayonara.